than to stay and be a father, to me, the everyday things to be a father. So I viewed myself as like very dispensable. And it did make me want to commit suicide quite a few times. That was after I was married. I never tried it before I was married, but once I saw my husband failing me in the same exact ways and a lot of times that my father failed me, I felt like I'm not worth nothing. God, why was I ever even born? I'm just wasting time. Somebody else could better be fit into this time that could honor you by being worthy of people's love. So in a 20-year marriage, I tried to commit suicide 5 times. I didn't process anything. Everything seemed so crazy. Suicide is a when you get to that point where you don't want to live anymore, it hurts to breathe. You just ask God that you take one more breath, that be the last one. And now that I have God so strong in my soul, that's one of the first things I promised God. I said, please help me to love myself enough just so I won't ever try to take my life again, because I know it's not mine to take, because you gave it to me and you have me here for a reason. But I said, God, I just want you to know, Daddy, heaven, it hurts. It hurts to live. But I won't try to kill myself anymore, I promise. And I never broke that promise to God. And I've come such a long way from that. The last time I tried to commit suicide, I was in my early 30s. And now I'm like near the middle of my 50s. So I've come a long way. A long way. Thanks be to God.
I had tapes running all the time in the background, telling me to choose my daddy while I waited by the door. So I chose him over and over and over again because I couldn't turn off those stupid tapes. And I couldn't break free from that stupid door. My girlfriend said I needed a good man to love me so that the door would come open. But it's jammed on both sides. And there's no locksmith except the one who holds the keys to the kingdom of heaven, and he hasn't been successful at the task of prying open my heart and door.
I think the negative behavior based on not having a father came around when I started dating, being promiscuous, sexually involved. That's when it kind of hit. What a father would have given me to help keep me from being so sexually out there would have been some guidance of what and what not to do, who and who not to see, what type. It would gave me some guidance on, a boy would say most anything to you to get you where they want, to get what they want out of you. They would be, they would offer you this, that, and the other. As far as fulfilling the promises, that's another thing. But my self-esteem was low because being a child at that time, short hair and, not being so-called the prettiest thing around. When boys started being attracted to me also, I felt obligated. So having a father, I think, in my life would have helped me understand that I was a strong human being. I did not have to be obligated or have to give so much of myself to have friends.
As far as me not having a father and the relationship as far as men or women are concerned, I felt more close to women than I did men. All of my men relationships were sexual relationships. That's how they started. There was still a long to be loved and to have something come out of it, but or for it to be long term. But that was pretty much how I expressed myself. as far as men were concerned, that I felt like that I had to be of a sexual nature in order for them to stick around, or in order for the relationship to have any sort of substance. So I think in a sense I lost myself, and because I just, freely gave myself away in that, in that aspect, and always felt closer to women because that was the force, or, that was the strength in our family. That's all it was, strong women that were just simply had the attitude, it happened, get over it, let's move forward. But with the relationship with men, it was, I still wanted to be in a relationship. I still always longed for a man, which, ended up being, that was any type of man, married, old, young.
And I did a lot of things to try to not, I had standards that I was supposed to, get. I was supposed to have somebody that had a car, that had this. But then when I was rebelling, it didn't matter, what they had. I just wanted someone to love me. And every time that I got in a relationship, it was based on me thinking that we were going to live happily ever after and have, a life together based on whatever may have transpired in the relationship. The things that I found myself doing to keep the relationships back at that time were any and everything. Just longing to be loved, wanting to, just putting up with a lot of abuse, a lot of verbal abuse, a lot of, people using me, just to feel love.
When I tried to get up from sitting by the door, everything hurt. The place of stagnation to movement comes with pins and needles that take your very breath away. So you slumped down on several occasions, more than most would like. But I had to get up, because I heard this voice calling me out of this Bastille that I created, and it wasn't willing to exculpate me from other crimes as easy as I wanted to get out. But I tugged at the door, the many commands and incantations that just wouldn't set me free. I kicked at the door and told to let me out of this motherfucker. I had no right to be here. Waited by the damn door. Spread across the floor, sleeping on dreams that needed my consciousness and my action. So I gave another intonation at the door, saying open sesame 1,000,000 times, and wouldn't quit until it opened up for me. As I was leaving out, I wrote on the door, etching in it with a strong knife, no more waiting by the door.
I decided to do this because I'm fed up. I'm almost 20 years old and there's no healing. This cycle has continued from, I'm going to even go as far back to say it's slavery with the women in my family. We just lay down and accept, and we've been abused, and my mother watched her mother be abused, and her mother watched her mother be abused, and her mother watched her mother be raped. Like, it's just a cycle, and I'm tired of it, because I don't want my daughter to go through the same thing. And I think that it's going to really affect the Black community, because there are so many girls who are my age and older, and some even younger, who are taught to be silenced, to just maintain their image, and that's it. And they're hurting on the inside. They're dying on the inside. They don't like who they are because of things that have gone on previously in their past. And I think that it's just time for us just to break this thing and just offer healing to these women. especially in her community.
In order to deal with this, it just take doing what's in your heart, what's right for you, because what's right for one individual is not right for the next one, because each experience is different. So it's basically it's all about looking within yourself and asking yourself, what is it that it's going to take to make me whole again? And then taking the steps to move towards that.
I would say the main ingredient to take your life in a positive direction is to first identify what it is you want to do, and try to identify those resources to help you. Namely, number one, having a relationship with God. I know that that's been the thing for me that has helped me progress in that area. Again, I didn't grow up having a very religious family, and that's really the only thing that sustains me. Not the money, not the job, not the house, but the fact that I can go to God and ask for forgiveness for those things that I've done. And that's what sustained me. And I think that providing that early on, at an age where young ladies can understand what this relationship is important. Not just forcing them to be apart, but actually having them understand about the relationships between themselves and God and how important that is.
Developing my relationship with Christ. Just more recently, I've been talking to him like, why? I'm damaged. Like, why did you have to allow me to go through all of this? Like, I would be so much further along if I didn't have to go through all this. But I know that all things work together for the good.
I would tell little black girls to, it may seem difficult coming from me, an older person, but on hindsight, if I had it to do different, if I had women telling me what they had been through by not having a father in their life like I'm doing to them now, I would say, look for the God in you. Dig deep for the God in you. God can help you get through anything, and God is in every last one of us. And even though I didn't know it, God was getting me through all the hurt, all the pain. Every time I cried and hollered out and said, I want my daddy, I miss my daddy, my Father in heaven had his arms wrapped around me. And I would say, be the best you that you can be. And don't let another human being, because your father is just another human being, so don't let whatever he did or didn't do, try your best, pray your best, so he can't impact you in a negative way and you could live your life, the purpose that God put you here. Because God put you here for a different purpose than he put your father here for, that he put your mother here for, that he put your step-parents here for, that he put your other siblings here for. Everybody has a different purpose in life. And so you can seek that purpose and stay prayerful all the time. Don't ever let go of God. That's what can get you through this life, and you can have a happy, abundant life if you do that.
We have seen and heard from these women who've experienced the pain of fatherlessness firsthand, and we've listened to its ability to engender many negative behaviors, from low self-esteem and promiscuity to overcompensation, suicide attempts, and destruction. We have also heard of these women's tremendous strength to go beyond those negative voices and head toward their greater possibilities through love of themselves and possessing the higher power within. If you have any questions or comments, please contact us at the following email address located on your screen, or call us at 202-277-8015. Until next time, be blessed.